Hello, everybody. There is something massive hiding right beneath your feet, hundreds and hundreds of meters below the ground. You can't feel it, you can't see it, but it's there. And that is fuel, unbridled energy and potential hidden beneath solid rock. For centuries, we have not been able to access that. We haven't even been able to see it, and we didn't even know it was there until fracking. Fracking, or hydraulic fracturing, is a process in which a well is created that goes deep down, kilometers below the ground. And that is also coupled with high pressure blasting with water, sand, and other chemicals. While the well is drilled underground, there will be multiple pumps going sideways, as if it was a straw, horizontally. This straw will further pump out all of the oil coming from different fractured elements of the shale and rock that is contained within those layers of our Earth's crust. So, when we take those pumps and we extract all of that oil and gas, what happens next? Well, we collect the fuel that has been trapped in shale for millions and millions of years, and then we export it, we refine it, and that's that. We power hundreds of homes, millions and millions of homes, millions of cars, and millions of people. It was a huge breakthrough. The US became a top exporter of oil, and it created jobs, it created lives, and it dropped the gas prices. That's what a lot of people cared about most. There is an upside. It did reduce our reliance on coal. One small upside. But the costs emerge. The costs of using fracking as a source for fuel and oil. When we do fracking, we need to insert millions and millions of gallons of water into the rock in order to crack it at high pressure. This is also, as I mentioned before, coupled with chemicals. These chemicals are extremely, extremely harmful to drinking and to the environment below. And this makes it so that the water that we pump into the ground, it will be unusable. It can't be reused for anything at all. That's why we just pump it into the ground and leave it there. So, obviously, it causes problems. This is Oklahoma, a state known for its tornadoes. But all of a sudden, it's known for earthquakes. In 2009, there were only a few dozen earthquakes in Oklahoma. In 2015, thousands. This is as a result of fracking, nothing else. Oklahoma, a state that exists on an area that isn't even on a tectonic line, a seismic plate. It isn't located there. What happened? When the water is inserted into the ground, it creates instability. You could imagine a place held up by pillars and replaced entirely by water. What happens? There is no structural stability. None at all. When it is removed, everything goes badly. Not to mention methane leaks, something that is extremely prominent within these fracking plants. When we extract oil, there's bound to be a greenhouse gas that is released, and that is methane. Methane is arguably more potent than carbon dioxide, and it is released by fumes, by the masses. And not to mention the short well life of these fracking outposts. It is absurd to think that a fracking location will only have a short well life of around 2 to 3 years. this constant drilling, this constant pressure on local communities and the ground, it is absolutely devastating to infrastructure, people's lives, environment, and more. So we need to get smarter about this. We need to crack some smarter solutions about fracking. Something that we can do is using AI to map out certain areas that are less susceptible to tectonic changes. We can also turn these wells that are drilling deep into the ground into geothermal plants, converting our original methods of acquiring fuel and energy into one that is sustainable and acquiring energy through heat. We can also, instead of using harmful chemicals, we can use simply just water without having to use those chemicals, because they will have an impact on the structural stability of the sediment that is located within the crust of the earth. We can also use real-time sensors for tracking these methane leaks so that we can quickly disable these problems that are popping up as a result of the drilling and fracking. We need to crack the rocks for our fuel. It is necessary. We already rely upon it every single day. But we have to crack smarter solutions. Thank you.